Hey guys, UWG Nick here, and welcome back to another Sunday Snippet. Now, those of you who watched my previous Sunday Snippets might immediately notice that something looks a little bit different, maybe even sounds a little bit different. The reason for that is I can now do this. Oh, look at that, cinematic. Now, what we are going to look at today is the reason why I can do this, and it's called a Osmo Mobile 2. It's a gimbal for a mobile phone. Cinematic, I know. But let's look at what the package contains and talk a little about this tech. We also have another piece that we're going to look at, which is the Video Mic ME from Rode. That is the reason it sounds different. Either way, let's get into the gear. This is pretty much what you get in the boxes. There's also a USB cable inside this little case. This one is just a micro USB cable that's placed over there, and that's it. This is the thing that you get. Not much else. As far as the mic goes, hold on, let me switch that back into some kind of place. The mic has like three main components. This is the actual microphone. Just looks like this. Then you get a connective adapter that will keep it when you put it on like that. It will make sure that the microphone is always turned towards the direction they want it to, either front or back. Because if you just plug it in like this, since this is a round connector, it'll just spin around the phone, so to speak. So this is to keep it in place. I don't use this personally because I lock it in a different way when I use it with the Osmo Mobile. It's just a piece of plastic. Build quality on this, pretty good. And then you get a dead cat windshield, so to speak. This supposedly works really well. I have some test footage that we can look at. I actually filmed it like yesterday or a couple of days ago, and I haven't looked at it personally. So we'll see what that is about later. But let's look at them closer. So this is what you get. This is known as a gimbal. My first experiences with gimbals was in drones. Now, I wasn't an early bird with drones, really. I think the first one I know that I got was the DJI Phantom 3. And at that point, they had just released DJI Phantom 4. And I think that the Mavic Pro came like right after. But they were like super expensive, whereas the DJI Phantom 3 was just like, I think it was like 600 euros or something I paid for that one. And I felt like it was a good kind of like starting point, just to know, I didn't know if I would like it even, flying drones and so on. But that was the first time I saw a gimbal in real life. Now, I know gimbals have been used for a long time in movies. They're like these bulky kind of like, when you have those cinema cameras, like actually movie cameras, big bulky cameras. They have these big rigs that you have on your shoulder and you have your arms and stuff, and it kind of balances and smooths out the shot. But it was the first time I saw one so small as in a drone camera. I was really impressed with how well it stabilized the picture, considering that the thing was moving and flying around and doing all kinds of stuff. When you look at the footage, it was just like butter smooth, really stable, really nice. I was impressed with that. I heard about these, I don't know, I think it was when the DJI Osmo 1 came out. Casey Neistat did a review on them and stuff like that, and I was like, it's pretty cool, but who the fuck's gonna need one of those? And that was my thinking for a long time, especially considering that the price was like 300 euros or something, over 300 I think, when the first Osmo came out. And yeah, now this is the Osmo Mobile 2, and I think that DJI just 3D printed these pieces pretty much. I don't know if there's any metal or if it's all just plastic. I think it's all plastic, though these parts right here feel very hard, so I think it's a very high quality polymer, but still it's not metal. In the Osmo 1, these were metal. In this, it's plastic. Does that matter? I don't know. I don't really think so. This is a little bit lighter than the Osmo 1. I think it's like 16 grams lighter or something like that. It's pretty hefty all the same, and the battery life is extended by, I don't know, like 3 times bigger in the 2 than the 1. But what does it do though? Now what it does, it stabilizes the camera, which means that if I put my phone in here, this is just a spring-loaded kind of clip. If I put my phone in here and turn it on, it's going to keep the camera absolutely stable. Even if I move the handle, it's going to keep the camera really stable. This is not a big deal, I think, if you're just taking pictures. But when you're filming, this does so much for the clip. Movements are so much smoother. There's a lot more kind of like cinema feel to the clips, to the videos you take. And they just look so much better. Cool factor walking around with this in town, filming yourself or anything else, very low. Still, I think these are so new that people are just gonna go like, what the fuck is that guy doing? But I think it's worth it for the shot. Like, it just looks so much better with this. I can see myself using this, for instance, when I film acrobatics and clips from circus stuff. I think this would give me much better footage and much more fun footage. And I'm already looking forward to like starting to play around with this. There's a bit of a learning curve in it, how to handle it, how to move, how to use it. So don't expect perfect stuff right out of the box. You still need to kind of adapt to it. But it's very simple. I've been using it for, I don't know, like I've used it like 3 or 4 times. Taking test videos, went on a walk with the dog and filmed a little from there. And not everything turned out the way I wanted it to, but it turned out a lot better than it would with just my hand. Let me set it up and let's have a look at how it works. Actually, before we do that, let's get into the other product that I have. So this is the Video Micro ME from Rode. It's a little external microphone that you can put on your, plug directly into your phone or tablet or whatever that has these ports. I think this is a TRRS plug, whereas many small microphones I use for system cameras and things like that use a TRS plug. So make sure that if you're going to use a microphone for your phone or your tablet, make sure it's a TRRS plug, not a TRS plug. It stands for, I think, tip ring sleeve or something like that. A tip ring sleeve or a tip ring sleeve, which is, it has like one less, this one has one more connector ring than other small microphones has. So make sure you get the right one, otherwise you're gonna have to do adapter stuff and maybe just buy a new microphone as well. It's annoying. Build quality on this one is superb. It's metal, it's aluminum, it has a rubber coating over the edge here, over the back end. It has a audio port for a 3.5mm head jack that allows you to listen to what you're recording while you're recording it. So you can have like your microphone or headphones plugged into here if you're using it for vlogging or something like that, and you can hear the audio quality as you film, which is very cool. I like that. I haven't tested it myself yet. Maybe we'll do that in this video. But it's a very, very good idea. Look at the plug, I think I bent it already. And then in the package you also get this thing, which I explained already. Just keeps the camera pointed in the direction that you want it to. So this would come in between, the phone would be in between here. And the last thing you get in the box is the Dead Cat audio filter, or no, wind filter, I guess. Wind protector, wind something. Windshield, maybe? And that thing just sticks onto the mic, like straight onto there. And then it actually has a little plastic ring around it that like jams into the microphone. So it's pretty secure. It's very secure, so to speak. This though, plugged into a phone, looks really fucking funny. You can imagine like somebody walking around with this. Cool factor very low. But again, if you're actually using your phone for something, like you actually want to get good footage with good audio out of it, this is something that you're pretty much going to have to suffer through still to this point, to this day. Maybe that'll change in the future. But let's look at how I use the Osmo Mobile 2 and what it does. Let me set it up. All right, so this is what it looks like when I use these two together. Yeah, I know, coolness factor down the drain, but screw it. Like, if you actually get good footage, and I think this is worth it, like, you have to suffer through this. And right now, this thing is off, and I have it balanced somewhat. Now, if you balance this perfectly, the phone should stay like this when you let go. Now, the microphone brings it down a little bit on the front, but it's not a big deal. The motors in the gimbal is strong enough to fight this. This probably will mean that my battery lasts a little bit under the 15 hours that they promised, because the motors will have to work harder to keep it balanced. Also, if I also plug in, because I've tried that, having the phone charge from the handle, because the handle has a charging port on the back here for USB, so you can charge your phone while you use it. If I put that in as well and I have a long wire or a long USB cable, the weight might actually make this give up. Now, it doesn't break, it protects itself. Some kind of relay or something just goes like, oh, this is too much pressure, and it just drops down like this. That has happened, but again, it's kind of because I'm jerry-rigging it. If you just have a phone, no matter what weight of phone you have, you are able to balance it through these screws here. You can set how far the axle comes out from this to make it counterbalance the phone. Now, I say no matter how big. There are limits. They're listed on the Samsung or on the DJI page. So if you have a very big phone, you might want to check that out first. Also, cases might not be a good idea with how the clamps grip. I think you can't use it with a case. If you're looking here, you can see that the lower clamp is like fully extended and the upper one is almost not at all. That is because I have to fit. Let's see if I can show you this. If this would be correctly attached, then the phone that you can see here would be lying against this part of the gimbal, like right down at the bottom. It would touch it. Right now you can see I can get my finger in between there. That shouldn't happen. It should be in between those two rubber paws or rubber grippers there. But since I have my microphone attached, it touches here. So I can't push the phone all the way down, because in that case the gimbal blocks the audio port on the phone. So this is kind of what I mean with jerry-rigging. I'm kind of just figuring out a way to make it work. It's not really intended to work. Either way, I have a Samsung Galaxy S7 here, and with the VideoMic ME, it works. Let me turn it on, and you can see. Push, hold, and then let go, and then boop. There you go. It's up. Now you might say that, well, it's turning, like it's not great, but that is because that's the mode. Right now the mode is, if I turn the handle, the phone turns with it. This is also not 1-1, as you can see I can turn quickly and the phone takes a while to follow. That translates into smoother motions in the video. But I can also lock the phone with just a press of a button. Press once. Now I can turn the handle and the phone won't turn. I can also lean it like this. You can see that the phone is perfectly stable. These jittery movements that you can see me doing right here, they wouldn't translate much to the video at all. It's very cool to see it in action. Now I can't go like too far, because the gimbals do have like a limit, and there I'm starting to twist it. So you still have to kind of be careful about how you move. You can't wave it around completely. To the sides, you can't flip it upside down. That'll start turning it, as you can see. But if I lower it this way, I can go pretty close to the floor without making the gimbal like twist. Another thing that happens when I have, especially when I have the dead cat shield on, is that this touches the handle as I lower it down, which means I can't lower it all the way down without turning the gimbal or screwing up the gimbal's balance, so to speak. It's very difficult to get past that point without touching. So again, not perfect solution with the secondary audio, but for what I need it for, it works. If I didn't have the microphone there, it would be a lot easier and a lot more mobile to use this. I still can do the sides because that's just how the gimbal is built, but forward and back would be a lot easier. And what else can this thing do? Well, the thing is, to use this properly, you need to use the app. It's a DJI app. It's the same app that they use for drones as well. So like, I have the DJI app installed on this because I use it for my Phantom 3. When I ran the Osmo Mobile, I didn't need a new app. I just booted the same one up and it found this thing and then run with it. You can use it as a stabilizer without the app. But in that case, you can't calibrate it, and there's a lot of settings that you can't use. But I booted up the app here. See if you can see it. Yep, that's me right over there. Hello. I don't know which screen you're watching right now, but you can't see my face on the normal camera, so you're going to have to watch it in the DJI camera. Now, right here, you have a lot of settings. And there's actually a lot of settings on the other side as well that this microphone is kind of hiding. Another problem with the mic, I guess, but most of the stuff over there you don't really need if you have the mic, and if you don't have the mic, then you might want to access, but then it's a lot easier. So over on this side you have the camera button, you have camera mode. Ooh, this is hard. Right up there, where you can shoot panorama, hyperlapses, and moving time lapses. Then up there you have, if you want video camera or photography, and then you can turn, this one switches on the selfie cam, but you can also switch on the selfie cam by just pressing 3 times on the mode button, and it turns to the selfie cam. Beautiful. And the mode is also how you control like this thing. You press it once and it locks in place. Now you can move it and it won't follow the handle or turn with the handle. If I press it again, it starts turning with the handle. This is something that you need to learn to use dynamically. Like sometimes you want to lock the shot in frame like as you're moving, and then you want to keep going, like panning and changing directions. So learning to use the mode button is really important. You can also control it just by using the joystick. Up, down, sideways. You can choose to lock it so it only goes straight sideways or straight up and down, or completely free. I have it on free right now, which means I can go diagonals and stuff. Makes it very hard to use when you're filming. If you want to get a smooth transition, it's very hard to use with free, but with the lock in place of vertical, horizontal, you can do that as well. And then the last button is the record button right over there, which should be self-explanatory. You take pictures or start and stop recording with it. There we go. And that's pretty much it right now. I guess I could show you a little bit of footage from using it. I can show you I'll show you a few test clips from the walk that we took with the dog the other day. And then we should also test the quality of the mic and see if there's any difference to it. This is the first real world test of the Osmo Mobile 2. We're out walking. I'm walking towards the sun, so I can't see shit. But yeah, this kind of field and other fields is what we're going to be walking through. And I hope you can hear me, because I'm also using the Video Mic ME from Rode, which is a phone compatible microphone. And I do have the wind, what is it? The windshield is on it. It's a big gray fuzzy fucker. So yeah, let's see what happens here, and maybe we'll get some good shots of Einstein. Nothing else. Let's take a walk. This, by the way, is how lazy our dog is. Okay, he wanted to come play with the fuzzy mic. Can't play with the fuzzy mic, dog. You little shit. Right, so let's try the microphone that I talked about, the Video Micro ME. It is currently connected and it's using the windshield. We could try some audio, like You can hear it quite well. You can hear it from far away, I think. But when I go behind it, let me lock this in place. When I go behind it, you're going to notice a big difference in sound volume. I don't know if you even know if you can hear me. So what I said there is you're going to hear a big difference in sound volume when I go behind the mic, and that is because this is a shotgun mic. It takes audio straight from the front and like it decreases as you go towards the back of it. And when something is completely behind it, it's very hard to hear. This is a directional mic, which means that, well, what I just said, the way you turn it is where it picks up sound. And you need to keep that in mind. For instance, if I was talking with somebody on the other side and I was filming them, and the mic is turned towards me, you would not be able to hear what they say. So if you want that kind of a function, maybe more of a interview kind of thing, you want something different. You want an omnidirectional microphone. But in my experience, this is a really good mic for the price. It costs like 50 bucks or something like that, 50 euros. And yeah, it seems to be working really, really well. Let's try it without the sleeve, without the dead cat sleeve. So now I took the wind protector, the wind shield off, the dead cat sleeve. I have it right here. Here you can see it. And I don't know if it affects the audio quality inside very much. I think it's probably going to be almost not noticeable at all. But outside, it will probably be a big difference. I'm going to go out with this. It's a bit of a windy day today, so probably a good time to test that out. And this is what the phone sounds like with just the base configuration, no external audio. I still have my Osmo 2 connected, but that does not affect the sound. It's not connected to it in any way. So yeah, this is what it sounds like without any mic. I don't know if these clips will come in different order than when I filmed them, because I feel like this should be first, whereas I filmed it last because I already had the mic connected. But well, you'll be able to tell the difference either way. Now I'm gonna take it outside. It's a beautiful day outside, as it's been all summer here in Finland. It's been way too hot. Actually getting a little bit cooler now. I think it's like 24 or 26 degrees outside. I should probably be in this kind of light so you can see me, but then I can't see shit. Again, this is an audio test for the Samsung Galaxy S7 stock configuration with the Osmo 2 connected to make the movements a little bit smoother and make it easier for you to watch. But it's the microphone that we're interested in. This is what it sounds like here. Right now there's not much wind. Okay, I'm gonna go stand over here where there's a little bit more wind so we can test that. Next up, we're gonna try with the Video Mic ME without the dead cat sleeve. This is the dead cat sleeve, by the way. Right, this is with the Video Mic ME without the dead cat sleeve. Trying to find like a little corner where there's some wind so we can see if there's any difference. I think there will be. God damn, these chairs are everywhere. There we go. I'm on my patio right now, by the way. There's Einstein somewhere in the shadows. But yeah, this is what the microphone sounds like without the dead cat sleeve. And I don't know, hope it's good. Maybe you'll feel some or notice some difference with the sleeve. We'll see. Right, and here we have it with the sleeve. Still in the same spot. Hopefully we'll catch some wind in a little bit, and hopefully you'll notice a difference. Now I can feel a wind. If you can't hear anything, that's fantastic. I should actually connect those headphones to the back port so I can tell myself as I'm filming. But hey, preparation and planning is not my strong suit, so I didn't do it. But I'm pretty sure we'll find in the end footage that there is a difference. Now let's go have a little look at Einstein, what he's doing. He's behind the gas bottle there. Einstein, buddy, what are you doing? What are you doing there, bud? Hi. Hi. You playing with the gas bottle? And that's it. There's probably a few things that I should mention about this thing before I end. Through the app, you're able to shoot hyperlapses, moving time lapses, and panoramic pictures. It has a what do you call that? A tripod mount at on the bottom, which is probably one of my favorite things because it makes these things so much more useful. This is a Gorilla Pod or a Gorilla mount. Gorilla Pod. That's the word, right word. And what it is a flexible kind of tripod, so you can do all kinds of crazy shit with it. Connect it to, like a wall. You can hook them around things and stuff like that. And these are great, but it takes such a long time to set up if you want to get like a even, steady shot, like a straight shot. You have to like fiddle with this forever to get like the horizon horizontal. But together with this thing, you can set it up any old way, and the gimbal itself will then stabilize so you get a straight horizon, which I think is fantastic. So this is a lot more useful to me now that I have this thing. Other than that, yeah, this is not really a tech review channel, so I probably did a really shit job about this. Probably have planned it better and so on, but I don't know, I just get excited when I get some new toy, and I want to talk about it and tell you about it and tell my impressions of it. What else? I've noticed in some footage when I've been walking and things like that, the horizon on the Osmo 2 has slipped, which means that it didn't stay straight for the entirety of my filming. But I'm not going to blame the Osmo 2 for that yet. I'm pretty sure it's because of my jerry-rigging solution with this thing and whatnot. Because the microphone is lying against the edge of the gimbal, and when it moves, sometimes it touches places where it shouldn't touch, and that might throw off the calibration during filming. So I can't say for sure though. So if you have one of these, pay attention to the calibration. Always, like, every now and then just do a visual check, like, is the horizon straight or not? And you can also manually through the settings shift it with like millimeter precision to what you think is level. You don't need to trust the automatic calibration. You can do it yourself. What else? Actually, I did buy one more thing, but I'm super not impressed with it, so I'm not going to say much about it. What I got was a wide-angled lens for the phone, one of these clip-on lenses. This claims to be compatible with almost all phones on the planet, but I've noticed that, at least, this is cheap as shit, by the way. It was a test, kind of like, what do these do? I'm going to take that thing back, because on the Samsung S7, the camera lens itself is so deep into the phone that when you attach that, you get black borders around the, like, how do I do this? The corners of the video, like pretty much where the mic is, would be like a rounded black corner. You can see like the edges of the lens. Also, there's a lot of vignette and blurriness to the pictures. So I don't think that there's a really decent way to get wide-angled on a phone. However, having said that, there are like Samsung-made cases for the phone where you can just screw on the lens. But I've seen videos online on YouTube of people trying to use like wide-angled lenses for the phone, like really good wide-angle lenses, expensive stuff that probably works really good, and use the Osmo Mobile 2. And then they've had to take jerry-rigging to a whole new level, because balancing this thing with an extra lens weight means that you have to start attaching like your own weights to this side, because the weight on the other side of the phone where the lens is so heavy that kind of bends the motor, or like the motor gives out when it needs to carry all that weight. So you need to counterbalance it with your own weights on this side, and that is jerry-rigging on a level that I'm not gonna start faffing about with. I'm pretty happy for the moment with things the way they are. So that was today's Sunday snippet / tech review / very poorly described new products. I'm sorry, but at least I think my vlogs or my Sunday snippets are gonna get a little bit more interesting now, because I have more options. I'm more interested in filming with my phone, and a good thing about the Osmo Mobile 2 is that you're definitely now looking for reasons to shoot video, because it's really fun to play around with. one thing that has always bugged me with filming with the phone, especially filming like stuff for the vlog or stuff for the channel, is that the audio quality is so ass. But I'm hoping that this Video Mic ME is gonna fix that situation, so I can do more on the road, so to speak. You guys saw my video, or maybe some of you saw my video when I went to Sweden and got Einstein. The audio quality when I speak in that video is ass, and it bugged me. But there was not much I could do about it, really. It is what it is. Either way, upcoming on the channel this week or the coming week, Monster Hunter World is finally coming to PC, and I'm super excited. I've actually pre-ordered it, even though I think you should never pre-order games, but in my head I'm motivating it by this is a true and tested game already. People have been raving about it for a long time, so I know that the game is decent. Now if the port is decent, that remains to be seen, but crossing my fingers and hoping. And I pre-ordered it simply I pre-ordered simply because of the reason of getting it ASAP and putting up a video of it ASAP on my channel. But yeah, then we're going to get into Monster Hunter World, and that is a grindy game, and it's probably going to be something I play for a long time. I'm not going to show everything, probably. I'm thinking like making a series of every time I hunt a new monster, I'm going to film. Maybe a little bit more in the beginning as I learn the game, but after that, once I know the game, it's probably going to be like specific hunts and things like that I show you. But yeah, that'll all be in the future, because for now, we're gonna say bye-bye.